The same properties we got in last year's X Hot and just make just small incremental improvements on them.
Okay.
I would say these maybe spin a smidge less than last year's model, have a little bit less draw bias, but a little bit faster on the face. Just based on the technology we put into the face profile, it's a little bit faster with the ball speed. So, but the last year's models were really good, especially the standard model. And then we made a couple changes on the Pro models. The Pro models were also very fast, but they were very low spinning, especially the shallow face models like the standard Pro 15, Pro 17. They played pretty strong because the spin was low. And so what we try to do is bring the CG up a little bit and increase the speed, but also give it just a tiny bit more spin.
Okay.
You know, there's a pretty good differentiation with the shallow face models, and this gets a little bit into what we'll talk about in terms of moving the mass properties around inside of a driver head. With a fairway wood head, you know, fairway woods are a little shallower, right? And so obviously, just to give you guys an idea, if you look at let's say the center of gravity is here, if you hit it on the toe, right, it kind of rotates like a merry-go-round like that, right? And then the ball starts a little right, and it puts a gear effect or an opposite spin on the ball. So when you hit it off the toe and wants to draw, that's what's happening, right? That gear effect. Same thing, opposite happens on the heel. It goes that way, and it kind of starts off the left and curves to the right. Well, the same thing happens vertically, right? It's called vertical gear effect. So if you hit it above the center of gravity, or the sweet spot, the club rocks back like this, it launches the ball higher, and it takes backspin off the shot. It reduces backspin. If you hit it down here thin on the sole plate, the club rocks underneath, it launches low, and it wants to spin up in the air because this revs the spin up. But the same thing is happening vertically that happens horizontally. Well, when you take a pro fairway wood and a very small shallow face, it's hard to make the club super stable in this orientation because there's not much mass that direction. It's very small that way. And so if you hit it high on the head, you get this kind of high launch knuckleball that goes forever. But if you hit it thin, the drop in spin is pretty severe. You know, so sometimes you'll get a pro that go, well, you know, with this club, if I hit it thin, I get maybe 235 out of it because I spin it a lot. But if I hit it high on the head, it goes 275. So there's a bigger difference there. So what you try to do is you always try to make the club more and more stable every single year, so you get a smaller differentiation in spin. So when you hit it different heights on the face based on your lie, you'll get the same kind of carry. And then when you see a club like the 3 deep or the 5 deep, well, deep because, not necessarily because people want a deeper face, but more because when you make it deeper like that, you make it more stable this way. So there's less variance in spin up and down the face. And you're trying to make that ball flight, even on a slight miss hit, you're trying to make that ball flight do the kind of the same thing every single time. Carry the same distance, have the same speed, have the same spin, have the same launch. So that's kind of the idea behind those, and we're getting a little bit better at that every single year. What loft is that like?
That's a 19. Just the standard.
Oh, that's the standard one?
Yeah.
Standard number 3?
Yeah.
Those, I would say, usually what you try to do with the standard head versus the pro head, the standard head you get no more offset.
Yeah.
Weight is internally heel where the straight forward draw.
I've been using the X Hot, the Pro 20 degree. I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance you can see with the pro model with the extra hot, but with that one, it doesn't have as much. Our standard one doesn't have much draw built into it, so it's relatively new for a golf club. And you can see it doesn't want to have a lot of hook in it.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit more difficult decision for you, the Pro versus that one. That one, they're both the same speed off the face, and the Pro's is smaller, a little more compact head, a little bit less offset. And the all the torque range shaft. Just bottle that one up.